Hello everyone, my name is Pushpikar. I'm a third year computer science engineering student at Bennett University. Today, I am here to present a video on steganography, which is a part of my college assignment. I hope you like this video. As we know, the topic for today's video is steganography. This subject is mentored by a professor, Rajendra Chaudhary. And this assignment is a part of the subject Seminar on Special Topics in Emerging Areas. This is the presentation content. We have introduction, then what is steganography, history of steganography, difference between steganography and cryptography, types of steganography, characteristics of steganography, steganographic technique which is explained with a model, then LSBs Technography, and finally advantages and disadvantages of steganography. Now let's begin with the introduction of steganography. The growth of high-speed computer networks and that of internet in particular has increased the ease of communication. But this type of advancement in the field of data communication has heightened the fear of data getting snooped at the time of sending it from the sender to the receiver. In order to address this issue, steganography plays an important role. So, steganography is a technique of hiding secret data within an ordinary non-secret file or message in order to avoid detection. The secret data is then extracted at its destination. It basically hides the existence of exchanging the information. So what exactly is steganography? Steganography is a science of hiding information from plain sight. Secret communication is very important because if your message is important and if you don't want others to know about it, then you will have to use different types of methods to hide your message from the third person. And steganography is one such technique. However, criminals and terrorist organizations are using this for their own purpose. So understanding how to hide data using steganography and prevent the data from being misused is very important. To understand steganography, we will have to understand its origin. So the word steganography is derived from a Greek word stegnos, meaning covered or secret, and graphy meaning writing or drawing. So the literal meaning of steganography is covered writing. It simply takes one piece of information and hides it with another. So let's talk about history of steganography. If you think steganography is a new practice, then you're wrong. Steganography is a very ancient practice, and it is being practiced for thousands of years to keep communication private. For example, the first use of steganography can be traced back to 440 BC when ancient Greece people wrote messages on woods and covered it with wax. That acted as a covering medium. Then Romans used various forms of invisible ink. To decipher those hidden messages, light or heat were used. Also, during World War II, the Germans introduced microdots, which were complete documents, pictures and plans reduced in size to the size of a dot and were attached to normal paperwork. Along with this, null ciphers were also used to hide encrypted secret messages in an innocent looking normal message. So let's compare steganography and cryptography. The steganography and cryptography are two sides of a coin, where steganography hides the traces of communication, while cryptography uses encryption to make the messages incomprehensible. Cryptography is basically science of writing secret codes. It makes messages meaningless to the casual reader by encrypting the data by certain rules, which are known to both sender and receiver. Only the intended receiver with the decryption key can access the actual message. Thus, when an attacker discovers the message, it is difficult for him to get the actual message. Cryptography does not try to hide the fact that a secret message is being sent. Coming to steganography, the main reason of using steganography is that you are hiding your message in an ordinary file. No one will suspect the fact that a communication or some sort of secret message is being sent. People will assume that an ordinary file is being sent and you will be able to send the information without any suspicion. Unlike cryptography, which conceals the content of a secret message, Steganography conceals the very fact that the message is being communicated. So, if we define steganography, it is an ancient art of covering messages in a secret way such that only the sender and the receiver knows that there is a presence of a message. So the next topic is types of steganography. Depending on the nature of cover object, the actual object which is the secret data is embedded, steganography can be divided into 5 types. Text steganography, image steganography, video steganography, audio, and network steganography. So let's talk about text steganography first. Now text steganography is hiding information inside text files. It involves things like changing the format of existing text or changing the words within the text, generating random characters, or using context-free grammars. Now the next type of steganography is image steganography. Image steganography is basically hiding the data by taking the cover object as an image, known as image steganography. In digital steganography, images are widely used to cover source because there are huge number of bits present in digital representation of an image. Now, the next type of steganography is audio steganography. In audio steganography, a secret message is embedded into an audio signal which alters the binary sequence of the corresponding audio file. Hiding secret messages in digital sound is much more difficult process when compared to other steganographic techniques like image steganography. The next type of steganography is video steganography. In this, you can hide any kind of data into digital video format. The advantage of this type of steganography is a large amount of data can be hidden inside, and the fact that it is a moving stream of images and videos. You can think this as a combination of image and audio steganography. The last type of steganography is network steganography. It is a technique of embedding information within network control protocols used in data transmission, such as TCP, UDP, ICMP, etc. You can use steganography in some convert channels that you can find in the OSI model. Now let's talk about characteristics of steganographic technique. The first feature of any steganographic technique must persist is transparency. It's an important feature. Each cover media, be it image or audio or video, has certain information hiding capacity. If more information or data is hidden inside a cover file, then it will result in degradation of the cover media. Now, if the attacker notices this distortion, then our steganographic technique fails. And there is a possibility that our original message can be extracted and can be damaged by the attacker. The next feature is robustness. Now, robustness is the ability of a message to remain undamaged even if the stegomedia undergoes some sort of transformation like cropping, scaling, blurring, or linear or non-linear filtering, or some sort of entrance. So, if we want to make sure that the technique in any way does not affect our secret message. The last property is tamper resistance. It is the most important feature because if the attacker is successful in destroying the steganographic technique, then the tamper-resistant property makes it difficult for the attacker to alter or damage any original data. Let's go through a basic steganographic model using encryption. Now suppose there is a sender who wants to send a message. Now that message will go through an encryption algorithm where an encryption key will be sent. After that, that message will become a ciphertext. Now that ciphertext will go through a steganographic encoder where a stego key and a cover file will be sent. Here, a stego object is created which is similar to a cover file, but it has our secret message. That will go through a communication channel, and now if we want to send that to the receiver, the stego object will now go through a steganographic decoder where the message is taken out from the stego object, and that ciphertext is then sent to a decryption algorithm where the ciphertext is decrypted, and using this decryption key, and that message is being received by the receiver. Now coming to LSBs Technography. This is one of the most common steganographic techniques. Let's understand what LSB is first. Least significant bit, also known as rightmost bit, is the lowest bit of a binary number. For example, if the binary number is 1001010, then 0 is the least significant bit. So what exactly is LSB steganography after understanding LSB? Now, LSB steganography is a steganographic technique in which we hide messages inside an image by replacing the least significant bit of an image with the bits of the message to be hidden. By modifying only the first most right bit of an image, we can insert a secret message and there will be no change. But if our message is too long, then modifying the second most bit and then that changes the picture. So this is the basic idea of LSB steganography. So let's understand the working of LSB steganography. As we know, LSB stands for least significant bit. The basic idea behind this LSB bit embedding is that if we change the last value of a pixel, there won't be much visible change in the color. For example, 0 is black. Changing the value to 1 won't make much of a difference since it is still black, just a lighter shade. So let's understand this. The encoding is done using the following steps. Number 1 is converting the image into grayscale. Then we resize the image if needed. Then we convert the message into its binary format. After that, initialize the object image, same as input image. Then traverse through each pixel of the image and do the following. You first convert the pixel into binary, get a next bit of the message to be embedded, then create a variable temp. If the message bit and the LSB of the pixel are same, then set temp as 0. And if they are not, then set temp as 1. Then setting the temp can be done with the use of XOR of message bit and then the LSB of the pixel. Finally, update the pixel of output image to input image, pixel value plus temp. After that, keep updating the output image till all the bits of the message are embedded, and finally write the input as well as the output in the local system. After understanding what steganography is, let's understand its advantages and disadvantages. Now every coin has two sides, so we'll analyze both of them equally. Talking about advantages first, there are a lot of advantages. We have mentioned two over here. It can be used for safeguarding data, such as in the field of media where copywriting ensures authenticity. Also, it can be used by intelligence agencies for sending their secret data. Now let's analyze the disadvantages of steganography. Many terrorist and anti-humanist activists have been carried out cloaked under this technique. Next, there is a large overhead to hide very tiny amount of information. Hiding short messages within wide text is limited by the size of extensive text. Text files clearly aren't big enough to cover more complex data, images or audio files. Now, the biggest risk is there is a clash between the original image without the secret message and the stagnated image with the secret message. Also, you cannot make cruel degradation of an image trying to analyze it. So these are the disadvantages of steganography. At last, to conclude, I would like to say that the field of cybersecurity is booming and steganography is one such example. I hope you deployed a fair idea of what steganography is. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching.